What's going on, y'all?
All right, we live, y'all. Hey, peace and black power, everybody. I want to welcome y'all to another NCRBGZ Productions. And with that being said, like always, I want to thank you for taking your time out your busy schedule to watch the playback, to catch us live. You know, you can be anywhere in the world, but you decided to be here with us tonight on Freestyle Friday, right? And we really do appreciate you taking your time out. I always want to let y'all know because without y'all, we wouldn't have a show. With that being said, give us a thumbs up, write a comment, let your friends know. Hey, them boys on NCRBGZ, they live Freestyle Friday, let them know, get involved, and that's really it. So like always, we have panel members up here, and I would like to give my panel members the opportunity to introduce themselves to the family, and we can get it in.
Yo, peace, everybody. Right back. Peace, everybody. This is Neb, and Ray coming in for another Freestyle Fridays. I believe this is gonna be a good one tonight. I'm put on my seatbelt. I'm gonna pass the mic.
Peace to everybody that's watching, all the brothers here on the panel. I'm Ron Perry. Shabbat Shalom to the four corners. And I'm just here to listen, see what's going on.
Peace and blessings, family. This is Leonard Walker out of Greensboro, North Carolina, president of Descendants of American Slaves Political Action Party, Descendants of American Slaves Incorporated. I am here to receive knowledge, impart knowledge, and just fellowship with brothers and sisters, tonight, and we're gonna do it live.
All right, I think it's one more person up here. Brother, I want you to introduce yourself to the family. Let them know your name, where you calling from, and we can jump in the conversation. Mr. Brother that's calling in from the 435 number.
Yeah, this Brother White. I'm just tuning in. I'm new up here, so I'm just listening and, listening,
Peace,
open
bro.
to
Peace,
dialogue.
brother.
What up?
There you came in.
All right.
All right, thanks, brothers. I appreciate y'all, man. So, today Freestyle Friday. On Freestyle Friday, anything goes. Whatever we want to discuss, anything is on the table. Anybody in the chat, if you have anything that you want to ask us, today is the day. Ask the question. We're going to talk about it. It's Freestyle Friday. And so I'm going to open it up. What y'all think about Kanye West, man? What y'all think about Kanye West announcing that he's running for president? Do you think Kanye West is working with Donald Trump to steal some of the black voters so Donald Trump can get reelected? Or do you think Kanye West actually think he can win and is going to actually run a real campaign? What do y'all think? The 2020 election is coming up in general. Since we're talking about Kanye, what do y'all think about the election? Or it doesn't matter to you? We got to do what we got to do no matter who the president is. So it don't matter who get in office. Like, what do y'all actually think about that? I think we can start a conversation off with that. Y'all can hop in, unmute y'all mics, and jump right on in.
Well, personally, it really doesn't matter to me because I don't vote. But you know me, I still pay attention to everything. And I think Trump gonna win it again, to be honest with you. That's an unpopular opinion, especially coming from a person of color. But I really do, because look at his competition. It's just like I look at this election the same way I look at what was it, the 2004 election. Bush had no competition, so it was automatically like you pretty much knew he was going to win again. And that's pretty much what's going on there, because look at everything that's coming out about Joe Biden. At first, everybody was all for Joe Biden. Then it came out, which some of us already knew. I'm pretty sure y'all knew that he was behind that bill that Bill Clinton signed about basically turning us into super predators. Well, his wife coined the term super predators, but it was Biden's bill that started the whole thing. And they're bringing that back out. So that pretty much killed his chance, unless he gets replaced by Como, because I see a lot of people really leaning towards Como right now. But that's my standpoint on it.
I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Ron just said it's a show. They already know the president gonna be. It's gonna be Trump again, whether people like it or not. Biden know what day is. They fried our money, so it is what it is. You know, I think Trump gonna win. And that's just that. Go ahead, brother Leonard.
All righty. Voting, as we know, is a numbers game. So I'm not predicting who's going to win, but I can tell you some of the key factors. If we have low voter turnout, that's going to be good for Trump, because Trump supporters, he's got staunch supporters that, you know, I mean, no matter what he does, they're going to vote for him, right? So it is what it is with that. So low voter turnout helps him with that. With Joe Biden, it depends on who his vice president is. If it's somebody that, you know, because really who he's looking for is, like I said, they know that they pretty much can predict which demographic of people are going to vote and who's not going to vote, right? They pretty much know the numbers. So who is his demographic that he's looking for? Joe Biden is looking for independents. He's looking for disgruntled Republicans that may be on the fence. And he's looking for new voters that are dissatisfied, young people. One of the largest voting demographics that does not vote, that most people try to get, most politicians try to get, is that 18 to about 30-year-old demographic. You don't have a whole lot of people within that voting range that vote. Typically young people in college, are either not at home or at a voting poll or in the military, or it's just not something that's in their radar at that time. People typically start voting around between 33, 35 years old, and then the largest voting demographic is going to be the elderly, because they really have something to vote for, because they, you know, all of the things with the government. So, but yeah. Again, like I said, is you know, it just depends on who the target is. Like I say, voting for Biden is not really voting for Biden. It's really voting for Biden's vice president, because Joe Biden comes off as somebody in the first stages of dementia. You know, with some of the things that he says, you can kind of see, okay, this is a guy that has some health issues. So, you know, he may not make it through the first term, all right, of a presidency. We may have to look and see who's going to be the vice president. So is that going to be Kamala Harris? Is that going to be Von Deming? Is that going to be Susan Rice? Is it going to be Condoleezza Rice if she decides to go? If he goes and splits the party and goes with Condoleezza Rice, and she decides to be the vice president, I think that right there is a smart move on his part, as far as trying to siphon some conservative voters, trying to bring balance to the presidency. Kanye West has not filed with the FEC yet. So, you know, if he files with the FEC, he'll have to file as an independent, because it's too late for him to file for either party. He's talking about filing as the birthday party. And, you know, that you got to be able, and I know that, I know brother I know Brother Haru can back me up on this, is you have to, whenever you file for a party, you have to have had that established months ago. So he'd have to file as an independent with the FEC and do that. Now, yes, he actually files with the FEC. Yes, he will siphon votes away, and not just black votes. He'll siphon young people's votes away. A lot of people say, "Oh man, ain't nobody gonna vote for Kanye." Yes, people will vote for Kanye. People thought nobody was gonna vote for Trump. So like I said, is he'll, and all it takes is, like I said, it's a numbers game. All it takes in a few crucial states where he could split the vote, especially battleground states like North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Ohio, Michigan, Illinois. These types of places where are last time was, well, Trump won North Carolina last time, but if Kanye's out there, Trump could win again. All right. If he's not out there, then it's a good chance that Biden could win some of these battleground states, because you have a lot of disgruntled people. And like I said, there's a lot happened last election. You had low voter turnout. Okay. I mean, it's already been proven. Low voter turnout. And I predicted that 60%, Hillary Clinton needed to won 60% of the white female vote. She only got 43%. So that was a huge factor. Yes, she won a popular vote, but that less than 60% white female vote, right, really kind of hurt her. And then, it's talking about, well, black people didn't show up and vote. Yeah, but I mean, still, that was the thing. Is you figure a woman president, you would think that women would, show up and vote for her, and black women did, white women didn't. So that was some of the things. But that's how you have to kind of look at it. Is Trump going to win? The big thing is looking at the market. The question you have to ask yourself: if Trump wins, if you got money in the market, okay, right now, matter of fact, this is the time to be buying it. If you got money in the market, all right, your money's gonna soar, right? So, you probably got about till, maybe 6 months before the market crashes again, because it's gonna crash again if you're riding high. And typically during Republicans, once a Republican becomes a lame duck president, is when the markets crash, and then they go and vote in a Democrat, and the market rebounds after that. If Biden gets in, I don't know if the market will crash or not, because he's not like a Bernie Sanders. Okay, if Bernie Sanders was running and Bernie Sanders got elected president, the market would definitely crash. Okay, Joe Biden is kind of a blue dog Democrat, where he's he has some conservative values when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to crime, obviously, right? So you may have some Republicans, some Republicans will say, okay, I'm tired of Trump, and I'll go with Biden, because Biden is not so much of a radical Republican or radical Democrat like maybe a Bernie Sanders or a Hillary Clinton. Although, Biden, he may have to separate himself from Barack Obama, but to do that would be suicide within his own party. So, like I said, it's kind of interesting to watch all of this stuff play out. Like I said, with Biden gets elected, it's kind of uncertain what the market is going to do. It may go ahead and crash and then start building back up again. So like I said, you just have to. That's the things that I've watched. I watch the market and I watch current events to kind of figure out, plus the numbers to see, what's, because like I said, I believe presidents are not elected; they're selected. All right. Number one, a president is a CEO. Okay, that is the CEO of America. Anybody knows business, the CEO runs the company, but the CEO's job is to make sure the company is profitable for the shareholders. Question is, who is the shareholders? The shareholders is not Congress. The shareholders is not, the Senate. Citizens can be shareholders if we act like shareholders, but we act like corporate associates. But typically, the shareholders are outside interests from a corporation. So I'll let you guys kind of figure that one out. But that's my time.
Hey, brother Leonard went in, man. I'm glad, you know. um, I have a little different take on this, man. My take is a little bit different, y'all. I personally believe that the establishment, and when I'm talking about the establishment, I'm talking about the Fed,
Mhm.
the
Banking
uh,
cartel.
the banking system, the shadow banking system that
Yep.
we don't know about.
Mhm.
When I say establishment, this is what I mean. They don't want Trump to win. The establishment is against Trump winning. So when I say the Fed is against Trump winning, so what do the Fed control, right? The Fed control money. They print the money, right?
Mhm.
And we have a U.S. Treasury, but the U.S. Treasury and the Fed work hand in hand, right?
Mhm.
So you have the the Fed and the ones that's backing the Fed that won't Trump out. So what is the best thing that can happen for Trump to lose is if we're in an economic catastrophic down, like the economy is bad, we in a pandemic, right? People are not working. It's a lot of uncertainty that is right now. For Trump to lose, you need this to happen. You need to have a market that's crashing. You need to have people jobless. You need to have a lot of uncertainty. And this is what is happening right now. It's a lot of uncertainty that's going on right now. And it's July, right? Now, Trump got an ace in his hole that he ain't done yet. And Trump is saving it. So everybody keep talking about this new stimulus check, this new stimulus packet. This is what Trump ace in the hole is, family. So don't expect these stimulus checks to come out no time soon. I don't expect them. I don't expect them to August, September. When the election November, yeah. Because you got to look at the market. The market goes in quarters, right? And I mean, how a lot of people look at stuff is based in quarters. So we headed into the third quarter now because it's the 7 month, yeah. So we're heading into the third quarter. Now November is just next to the last month. So you can expect these stimulus checks around August, October-ish. That's when I'm gonna expect them because how it's gonna jolt and inject life in the economy and to the stock market. And Trump is saving that because I really believe that the shadow bank system won't Trump out. I don't think they want him. The Fed don't want him in. They don't want him as the president no more. How you can tell is the media. How do the media portray Donald Trump? That's how you can tell. How is he portrayed in the media? Now, Fox may try to portray him okay, but all the rest of the stations, he gets no love. And that tells you everything you need to know. The establishment is against Donald Trump. They want him out. Donald Trump is using these stimulus package, and I think he's gonna win the election with this stimulus packet, man. That's his ace in the hole. I'm in the stock market. So, like Brother Leonard said, I'm waiting for it to drop again. I want it to crash because my stuff is already set. If it go a certain point, the sell automatically. I'm prepared for that, but I want it to crash so I can get back in. You know how many people made money when the stock market that was prepared when the stock market crashed? And like, boy, man, a lot of people made money, man. Bought cheap stocks. around mid-April into May, them stocks had already doubled. Some of them had already tripled back in value. So, that's here or there. As far as Kanye West, what I understand with Kanye West, he was a write-in. So I haven't looked into it to see exactly everything, but I know that he would be a write-in where we would have to write his name in.
Mm-hmm.
So with him, he kind of like Brother Ali Muhammad, that's running as a write-in candidate. Really no budget, no nothing. Now, as far as Kanye West, and everybody know that him and Donald Trump is partners. They got some type of business relationship. They have some type of relationship. So it really ain't far-fetched to believe that he may be used as a pawn to try to draw some voters away from the Democrats to effectively. I don't know because I'm gonna take that. I don't know, man. I just know that he may, but he may actually be to help Donald Trump. And I'm gonna leave it at that, man. I'll save it for another time.
How
But
y'all
it's
feel
more.
about the shots, the vaccination they're trying to force on everybody? I think that's real, or y'all think it ain't gonna happen? I think it's gonna happen.
Well, I think long as Donald Trump in office, it ain't gonna happen. Because I don't think Donald Trump for it. As far as making it mandatory. He may leave it to the states, but I don't think as far as him being a president, that the federal government is gonna make it mandatory. And they may leave it to the individual states. But I don't think Donald Trump is gonna happen. Now if Joe Biden get in, it's a wrap. If Joe Biden get in, it's mandatory. But I think with Donald Trump, it'll be a little bit different. I think that if he can't benefit from it, I don't see him really passing it. And it's a shame, but that's the way I see it. I see Donald Trump as what benefits him. And if something don't benefit him, he ain't for it. That's what I personally believe. So that's why certain things he focusing on. But that's just my piece, man. Y'all can jump in.
Yeah, well, like I said, is you got a point there as far as the banking cartels, because I'm hearing things about how Donald Trump wants to bring a gold standard back, and that right there. You start hearing people talk about that. I mean, look what happened to Herman Cain when he was talking about the 999 plan. Now you can talk about him being a coon or being a sellout all you want. If he became the president and he dropped your taxes to 9% with a 9% national sales tax and a 9% corporate tax, you think it was prosperous times when Trump this past when Trump was you couldn't corporations, there'd be like positions for every person, there'd be about 5 or 6 jobs because all of these corporations that came back from overseas, all of that kind of stuff. So Trump is part of the oligarch class. All right, he's an oligarch. So the oligarchs already, don't like banks. All right, and don't trust the banks because they know the deal what the banks try to do. Politicians are in league with the banks. So yeah, you got a good point there because I've heard the same thing as well. I know Donald Trump is trying to work on some of these trade deals that we're getting killed on. Now, like I said, he's not doing all bad stuff. I mean, it's right now it's good to be if you have a small business, you're trying to start up a small business. Now the corona, this has messed everything up. But before this coronavirus thing, if you was trying to start a small business, this was the best time to start a small business. This was, a good time to get into the market. And like I said, with these stimulus checks coming, you're right. A lot of people are gonna take these stimulus checks and they're gonna turn up. You take that stimulus money and you get with Webull or you get with Stash or you get with one of these guys, use that stimulus money to make you some money. Don't spend it. Go ahead and you might as well invest all of that because they're gonna tax you anyway. So if you make money off of it and then have to pay additional taxes. Matter of fact, you take it and you lock that money up. And yeah, they're gonna, it's gonna be considered income. So, but that'll be part of your income. But yeah, you say, okay, well, I'm gonna make some money off it. This is my chance. I'm playing with house money now. you know. So, but but that Kanye thing, you're right. Is I think Kanye denounced to say, okay, me and Donald Trump just fell out. I think Kanye and Donald Trump have talked, and because Donald Trump, like I said, he tampered with the election before to get in, right? Because that's what CEOs do. They say, okay, he's got to be the CEO this time. We got to make sure he gets elected, right? This next time, so he's like, okay, I got people watching for election irregularities, right? Because they're already talking about writing in ballots and all of that. And I'm not for that. I'm if you can social distance in Costco, you can social distance at the polls. All they got to do is just extend early voting earlier, so that everybody gets a chance to vote. And then these churches and some of these other places, use the church van to take people to the polls, older people to the polls, the young people, get people out there to the polls so they can vote. Plus, where I'm at in Greensboro now, public transportation, you can catch the bus to the early voting station in my neighborhood. So there's just not going to be no excuse. so like I said, so that's they can do all of that. But yeah, that I think you're right about because I was looking at that the other day about how, like you said, the Fed, the banking cartels, they don't want an oligarch, somebody that they can't control, as far part of the decision-making class with executive power, because they can't control him. So, because the banks literally control, like I said, is the U.S. Treasury, the banks, that's how they make their money, is they own the Treasury, and to print money for the United States, they charge you. All right, that's what your tax dollars goes to the banking system, because they're charging you to print money. So you get in a situation where, okay, so now we're getting ready to go to crypto, and we're getting ready to get rid of all of that, and the government is going to have a way to tax cryptocurrency. The banks will still be in control of that as well. That's what they're setting up right now. So but yeah, it's, like I said, it's going to be real interesting. And that stimulus package, yeah, that's just ace in the hole, because they already talking about you can get as much as $2,000 per person. So if you married with kids, I think, what are your kids? You get $2,000 per adult, and then the children you might get $1,000. So you married with kids, and you got kids that live in your house, you still just come away with $5,000-$6,000 in stimulus. So that's gonna be some stimulus for you, and then they're gonna be opening up. They're talking about opening up. Well, they not gonna open up college football, but they're talking about opening up the NFL too. So if you ain't never been to an NFL football game, people gonna be buying tickets. People gonna be trying. Hey, it's gonna still be warm enough to where people go to the beaches and Disneyland and all of these places. So it's yeah. I mean, that's this is a strategy. I've seen this. I've probably seen the first Joe Biden campaign ad today. And it was pretty good. Like I said, it was pretty good. He's doing the same. This is not about me. This is about us, the United States. The people. So I think that's going to resonate with a lot of people. You have us, the people, being taken care of, and then you're going to have Trump talking about, we still need to make sure that American exceptionalism, all right? Making sure that America stays a strong nation, strongest nation on the planet. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting, but all I'm doing is looking to see how I'm going to move my money around. That's the deal.
Hey, something you was talking about, I forgot that new app that you mentioned that you do the trading with. What is it?
Webull.
Webull. Yeah, yeah. I got put on to them about a week ago. Yeah, they good. But yeah, y'all brothers want to jump in, man. Because you know this like this he jumped in. Oh yeah, there you go, Master. You save us, brother. Come on in here, brother.
Well, you all were talking about. I heard Brother Leonard was and he mentioned the stocks and talking about Biden and Trump a little bit. I heard y'all was talking about something else, but I caught the tail end of it, so I can't comment on that, man. I think everything that's kind of going on in society. I think for us as Black people, we have to be able to take our emotions out of everything. Get what I'm saying? And so most Blacks will automatically vote Democrat, but if you ask them why, they'll just say, "Well, this is what we taught," or they'll be like, "I don't know." They really have a reason to stand on. You get what I'm saying on reason why. Now, I'm not saying to go vote Republican. That's not what I'm saying. But I think for me, as being a Black man and, you know, having a Black family and being the type of person I am, as Black people, you have to figure out who has the greatest interest for you and your people. You get what I'm saying? What are some things that benefit you and your people? And so I give you an example. If somebody said, look, either you can get, if one president is talking about canceling all your student loan debt, you understand what I'm saying? All of your student loan debt, which a lot of Black people cannot pay. You understand? Like people have master's degrees, doctorate degrees, et cetera, and they're getting out of school, not being able to pay them debts back. Or they say, look, we'll give you your reparations of $10,000. Most people just look and say, look, I just want to have this $10,000. If Democrats say, look, I just want to have these $10,000, give me that $10,000. But all of us know $10,000 is really not a lot of money. I'm not trying to be funny. It really isn't a lot of money. $10,000 is gone very, very quickly, especially to people who don't have any type of financial literacy. They would take that money and blow it. But if you took that money and you were in, if they said to wipe out all of your student loan debt, if all that was wiped out, I would get behind something like that because I know it would not only benefit me, but it would benefit, you know, Black people as a whole. And if you look at statistics, Black people are, you know, have, you know, obviously we lead into everything when it comes to like something being negative. You know, it'll be pretty much us who can't pay back those particular loans. Again, I'm not saying go and vote Republican. That's not what I'm saying. But I see a lot of Black people talking about Joe Biden, but I have yet to hear anything Joe Biden say out of his mouth to make any type of sense. I do know there's videos circulating around with him calling Black people. I'm for real. I've seen videos circulating around where I don't know if it's true or false of him calling Black people niggas and things like that. I have seen those. Now, whether somebody dubbed his voice or whatever, I don't know. So don't take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But can somebody tell me anything that Joe Biden talk about? I don't know. I'm for real. I don't know anything. I don't know. Like, what does he stand for? Nothing. Only thing he did was run with Obama. He became the vice president, and Black people think he's gonna be for them. I don't like. Tell me something. Like I asked somebody, I said, tell me something Joe Biden gonna do. They look at me. Well, he's a Democrat. Okay, well, tell me something that he's gonna do for you. Tell me what gonna do. All he said, we the people. If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black. Well, first of all, you not Black. So one that's, I mean, I get what you're trying to say, but you're not Black. So like, you think this, like, you want to say you think this is a game or something? No, it's not a game, brother. It's not. Like, so tell me what you want to do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a fan of Trump and I'm not a fan of Biden, but I understand business and I understand how wolves play the game. And in order to get ahead, what I'm not going to do is complain, is I'm going to study the strategies that you use and I'm going to get on top. Like the brother Leonard was talking about, like the stock market. Some people like, man, I don't want to get into the stock market. You know, it can be very hefty to them. I'm telling you, man, look, read a book. If you can take the time to sit down and watch TV or do whatever it is you're doing, take that same energy and go research some stocks. If you want to start looking at real estate or starting some type of business, if you take that money they give you, that's if you can afford to. I'm not going to get on the whole economic Monday. We talking about, you know, how to manage money, et cetera, et cetera. But you can take the money that you're getting, any little money that you can scrape, take that money, invest it into like the stock market or invest that money into yourself. But I'm just going to say from the stock market, you can take that money in the stock market, man. And when these companies pay you dividends, if I'm not mistaken, the taxes on it is different. It's how rich people get rich. You know what I'm saying? They don't set all their money inside a bank where the bank doesn't necessarily give you money. Once they got this 6 to 8 months, whatever saved up, they take that money and invest it. And when they sell stuff, those things are considered capital gains. And capital gains are taxed less than the average person who go to work every day. You, the average person going to work every day, you pay more taxes than somebody who's a multi-millionaire. You complain and ask, why do I do that? It's because they know the game. So for us as Black people, let's stop taking everything at face value and be like, you know what? What is Donald Trump doing that I'm not doing? what is Jeff Bezos doing that he can make billions of dollars a year? Get what I'm saying? And so, but because complaining has not done us any good. And if I'm talking too much, to be like, Master, you hush. But complaining has not done us any good. No matter who's been in the White House, even Obama, it has done nothing for us black folk. So what we have to understand is that no matter who, first of all, who has an agenda that's going to help benefit me and my people. And then furthermore, what are these people who are in the 1%? What are they doing to get on top? Let me go and study them and figure out what they're doing. Let me read a book. Let me read a book on Bill Gates to see how he manages. Let me go look at a YouTube channel, somebody, breaking down like, Warren Buffett. Does Warren Buffett have any books? Get what I'm saying? Like, go start looking at this stuff that you learn things about investing, et cetera, et cetera. So those are the things that, for me personally, those are the things that I look for, in terms of a candidate. If I were to vote, whose ideals align with mine. I don't care if you like me or not. I don't care about that. But do your ideals align with mine? And then on top of it, who can I study to help build my family, also my community? That's my piece.
No, you hit it right on the head, man. Hold on. Okay, anybody else want to add anything, man? Y'all right on the head with this stuff, man. Especially, I got a video of Joe Biden, man, when he talking about the super predators and talking about basically black kids. Mm-hmm. He don't care how they got to the position that they at. He don't care if they had rough upbringing. He don't care if they won't raise in a 2-parent home. All he care about is what they're doing right now, how they need to be locked up. Excuse me, y'all. And just stuff like that, man. But Master, you asked a good question. Like, what is he running on? What is his platform? When I watch Joe Biden, and I don't want to seem like I'm anti-Democrat, but when I watched Joe Biden, he was like doing that gay stuff. He was talking about letting transsexuals decide. No, he said he gonna let them decide what prison they go to. So he said if you are a guy who think you a woman, he gonna allow you to go to a woman's prison. And if this is what Joe Biden is saying, if you're a woman and think you a man, he gonna allow you to go to. He said he let you pick your prisons based on what you think you are. And I said to myself, man, have y'all ever seen any case studies of men who said that they were women and went to a women's prison? Have y'all ever seen any of them case studies? It was a guy in the UK that done that. Man, he went over there, he saw that ass, all that feminist shit left. He started raping them women left and right. Excuse me. Sorry, Facebook, for using that word. Man, that white, he was raping them women left and right. So, like, can you imagine a woman that thinks she's a man going to prison around men? Yo, come on, man. But this is what Biden was promising that community. This was around I think it was having summits or something. And this is what he was promising them. So I said, okay, we know one of his agenda is to help the LGBTZ. That's one agenda he is. We know that's the agenda. Right? The second agenda is about these illegal immigrants. So he got 2 agendas. Now, after all the protesting and stuff that has been going on in America, what agenda have he pushed for us? That's what I want to know. Like, what agenda? Not saying that Donald Trump has, because Donald Trump, he ain't pushing nothing for us either. But I'm saying, what specifically for African Americans have Joe Biden put forth to the table? Not no trinkets or something that is quote unquote everybody gonna use, So minority, I'm talking about specifically for African Americans.
I can answer that.
I haven't
I
heard.
I can answer that. Make
Okay.
this quick, man. You know, we ain't gotta draw. You know, this politics, man. Politics. Look, man. Only draw the for us, man, with prison time and the buses, man. So, make it simple, man. That's all he did for us. And I feel like a cat one day. I feel like a dog one day. Regardless who the president is, that's gender him. This is Rome, brother. Babylon. Whatever you want to call it. Well, they're doing it with Trump as president. They're gonna do it with Biden as president. They're gonna do it with Trump as president. No matter. Pedophilia will be legal soon behind the LGBT movement. With NAMBLA, y'all got research NAMBLA, you know? They're all the same thing, on the same thing. I ain't saying all gay people is cool with pedophiles, okay? But as far as the big dogs, the top dogs, they work hand in hand. Planned Parenthood, all that stuff, work hand in hand. Eugenics, LGBT, pedophilia, it's all hand in hand. So it don't matter who the president is, who you vote for, y'all. I'm talking to the world now. You can vote for who you want to vote for. I ain't telling you not to vote. But regardless, they're ushering that in. It's a new world order. And that sums it up right there.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna chime off of Dr. Claude Anderson, and I mean, and what it boils down to is that the Democrats are just practicing the same old benign neglect. All right, and that's all it is. It's like you said, is we gonna kneel with kente cloth around our shoulders and kente cloth masks on our face, and put our fists in the air and showing solidarity, or we're gonna paint Black Lives Matters on the street, in front of Trump Towers, and we're gonna sing "Lift Every Voice" and sing, during the national anthem for the NFL, and all of these little bitty things. So it was Rahm Emanuel that said, "Never waste a crisis." All right, so when we see, they got 3-in-1 now. They got 3-in-1 crisis going on. So now, you rally everybody behind this type of stuff. And don't get me wrong, is what we saw with George Floyd was very unique to us because I believe in DNA memory, and what we saw was a lynching that our ancestors either witnessed or some of our ancestors endured. Okay, that's what we saw. That's why we react the way we do. Because it's in our blood, it's in our bloodstream, it's in our bone marrow, it's connected to our cell structure, right? So, knowing all of that and taking advantage of all of this, you don't hear anybody talking about changing policy. You don't hear anybody, now, defund the police, but we need, like I said, is hard policy. The one thing we have to do, all right, is and this is the lesson behind all of this, Obama presidency, all of that, is we have to stop waiting for people to offer us things and start telling people what we want. And when we tell them what we want, we have to tell them what we want in terms of changing policy, executive power, executive orders, things like that, how do we get this to happen? How do we get that to happen? Let's change this policy right here. Let's make this like now, it's illegal for the police to do a certain specific type of chokehold. All right, police can get arrested for that. Okay, cool. All right, that's one thing. So let's keep going. Let's keep going with some policies. All right, and yeah, the LGBT thing, the LGBTQ thing. And don't get me wrong, is I know a lot of gay people, and for the most part, the gay people I know just want to live and be left alone to do what they want to do, okay, and live their life how they want to live it, at peace and being happy. So that's cool, I mean, now, the company I work for, very diverse, very open, you have gay employees, in which if people can do their job, they can do their job. You ain't got to talk about, this, that, and the other, and all of that. And we can still have civil conversation because, like I say, for the most part, these people, it's more to a gay person than just, what they do in their bedroom. All right, that's a small percentage of who they are, right? But you do have, these people out here in power, okay, that push the envelope, right? That okay, well, we want to be in charge. We want to snatch the power. We want to dictate the movement. We want to do this. We want to do that. And I'm gonna say this, and I know people ain't gonna like it. You have Black Lives Matters, the movement, and Black Lives Matters, the organization. Okay, the movement, all right, is what people are attracted to because obviously it's obvious. Okay, hey, listen, my life matters. I'm a Black person. My life matters. Black people's lives matter. All right, you can't just go and just treat us like secondary citizens, okay, or property, or like my life doesn't count, okay. You have the emotion from that. Then you have Black Lives Matter, the organization is getting money from the Ford Foundation, it's getting money from Sprite, it's getting the support of MLB, it's getting support in the MLS, it's getting support that has 40 chapters throughout the world, it's spreading in Africa. It has LGBTQ leadership, all right, that says that the LGBTQ community is tired of being in the background of these movements and want to take the lead. You can read that right on their website in her story. They're saying this, that they want to redefine the family dynamic, all types of, there are two different things going on here, right? So what we have to do is understand, okay, it's, the natural thing is that my life matters, my brothers and sisters' life matters, Black people's lives who are being treated, what's the word? Who are being treated, obviously different. There's a disparity there, obviously, okay. That those lives matter. But then, like I said, they want to throw a Black on Black crime. My answer to that is that's a whole entire separate subject. That's a discussion that needs to happen on its own. Okay, that's a tactic that people are using. Well, what about, you had a 3-year-old child, and you know what, that's horrible. That's terrible. And that's something we as a community have to deal with, definitely. But that's not what we talk about. Okay. That's our dirty laundry. That's our dirty secret. And I'm a person that firmly believes that you don't air your dirty laundry in front of everybody. Just like you don't whoop your children in front of with company over, right? Don't discipline your children in front of the company. We don't air our laundry or the things that we need to do within our community. I think the brothers, the conversation tomorrow's show is going to be absolutely on point when we talk about the abuses that happen within our community. But like I said, that's a different conversation than being a citizen and exercising your right, but having the system treat you less than or treat you, not beholding to the Constitution and the laws that you qualify for. That's a whole separate conversation. So, people get sucked into that, and, get diverted, and which, like I said, it deserves its attention. But I think that's something that we don't need to have media coverage. That's just like the brothers and sisters that marched on Stone Mountain, Georgia, dressed in black, assault weapons. That was beautiful. Okay, that was wonderful. Now let's go on into Atlanta and deal with, some of the gang violence. I've already said is that if you have a community of men with guns, not only are you making sure the police are in check, because they're not going to be able to come into your community and just, if somebody has done wrong, okay, and they got to get arrested, okay, we're going to make sure that brother gets due process. Because what people don't understand is an arrest is not an admission of guilt. The arrest process, that person is still innocent. They have to be taken to court and have a conviction or have a judgment, a ruling, in order to be convicted of a crime. They're still innocent at that point. So if they never make it to court, and that's what the plan is. So, you get brothers out here with M14s and AKs and all of that, then okay, yeah, we just gonna make sure, okay, you gotta the brother that got busted for some stuff, he's got to get arrested. Okay, no problem. We're just gonna make sure that he gets in the car fine. You ain't putting no knees on necks. You ain't, abusing him or nothing like that, because we will lock and load. And there's more of us than you. There's more of us, period, than your entire police force. All right. That's what I saw. And it made me excited, because I was like, man, if we could get, I'm looking at least 200 brothers. I'm like, and sisters out there with assault weapons. You get more people. And I'm like, now you clean. And see, that's the other thing is you go to the trap house and you like, yo, Mr. Trap House owner, you got 24 hours, because we're not selling heroin and we're not selling crack in the neighborhood no more. Okay, there are more of us, and we are heavily armed. And you my brothers, but I will go to war on you, because you share the same skin, but you're my enemy, because you're killing people that look just like you with the stuff that you're doing. See, so, and I know I kind of got off track a little bit, but this all kind of ties into all of this political type stuff and the things that are going on right now. See, so I'm gonna let other brothers jump in on that. So y'all go ahead.
Brother Mega Live.
What do you say, Cam?
Mega Live. You still up here? I don't know if you listening in or not.
We listening.
Yeah, I'm here too, y'all. I'm just doing something, so that's why I'm letting y'all talk, because Leonard was going in right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
So
I can't.
How y'all feel about?
Go ahead, Cam.
Master. Go ahead, Master.
No, go ahead. No, you can switch it up. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, Ron messaged me something about Deshaun Jackson apologized. Did he apologize? I ain't see all of it. Ron.
Yo, hey, give me like 1 minute. I'm gonna get right with you. I heard my name. Give me like 1 minute.
Yeah, I heard they got I don't know if it's true or not, but I know he's gonna break it down about Deshaun Jackson apologizing for what he said.
About his comments he made about Jews. I didn't catch the whole comment. I know Julian Edelman came in talking about let's go to the Holocaust Museum, and then said then we can go over to the African American Museum of Heritage in Washington D.C. as well. So trying to forge an alliance between those two. I caught the tail end of that. I don't know what he had said. So
All he did was he retweeted something that Hitler said or something.
Oh yeah, that's how you mess up.
Yeah. But you know something though, man. Like, we had this conversation on what day was it? It might have been Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Like one thing that we have to understand, man, and is like what is power? And for a lot of us, man, we quick to move out of an emotional standpoint, but we never have power to do anything. The only United States of America is a business. And the only way to make policy and change things in a business, you have to have some level of power. They don't nobody care about you being a good worker, because Black people are good workers. Don't nobody care about that. You have to have power. And so most of us never seek to get in a position of power. And one way to help to get you power is to have money or to have some level of influence. If you got both, then that's amazingly great. But for a lot of us, what we do is we become very, very emotional within a particular time frame. And when we become emotional, not all the time, but a lot of times being emotional will cause you to get into a situation. If you would have thought about it, it's like, you know what, I could have handled this differently. Not saying that I wouldn't take action, but I would have handled it in a different way. You get what I'm saying? So it's easy for us to see something happen and immediately we get emotional, we go kill someone. And just like that, your whole life is thrown away. But if you took time to go, like my grandma always said, before you make a decision, sit down and eat a meal. They give you an opportunity to sit and digest your meal and think about it before you go do it. And sometimes you may find that there's a better pathway to do it. If we as Black people want to be able to say things or change things, we have to be able to get in positions of power. You understand what I'm saying? You have to be able to get into those positions of power. And a lot of us saying we don't like the police force, but in order for you to change anything, you have to get on the police force and start changing the culture of it. You got to get into the whole political system and start changing the culture of it. Like his brother Leonard was saying, you got to get in these neighborhoods, and you got all these guns in your neighborhood. We had this conversation all the time too, set and there. Like, no, ain't no crack finna be sold in the neighborhood. You set it on the next block, but not my block, my kids out here. And if somebody come there shooting up behind some crack, I'm gonna issue with you and an issue with them too. You get what I'm saying? So like when you start moving in unity and you start owning stuff, then you have power. As long as you are a consumer majority of the time and you don't really have any type of asset allocation and you don't own anything, you understand what I'm saying? You are easily manipulated, then you have no power at all. You don't have no power. So anybody in power is not going to listen to you. It's like some people always hand out this meme talking about all we got to do is stand up and the table is turned over. But yeah, you don't have no power, so you ain't going to stand up. They got the power, so I want them to show that complete picture. They probably under that table. They got all these Black dudes underneath this table, man. They probably glued to the floor, nailed to the floor, all type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't understand the concept of power at all, man. And so like for us, man, we have to have power. You do. Hollywood, who is Hollywood run by? It ain't by us. You understand what I'm saying? Who own most of these stores in Black neighborhoods? It ain't us. Who own most of the houses in Black neighborhoods? I can promise you. I can tell you where I live at. We don't own them, but but you know, I own my home, but the people who own it, they don't look like us. You get what I'm saying? Who own all these clothing companies? It ain't us. Who own all the radio stations? Exactly. We don't have no power. We get mad at Lil Wayne for the stuff he's saying. Now, albeit he should be uplifting people, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But Lil Wayne ain't the one who run the label. That ain't on him. You understand what I'm saying? He don't own Sony and all them big label companies. He don't own that stuff. He don't own the we cry about the Oscars so white. You don't own the Oscars. That ain't yours. You feel what I'm saying? It's like me getting mad at somebody because I can't smoke in their house. So I'm gonna get all my homeboys to beat them up because I can't smoke in this ain't your house. This ain't your house, bro. You don't have nothing to stand on. You understand what I'm saying? You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man. Anyway, I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna hush.
I got a question. That's you.
Go ahead, bro.
This ain't our house. So where is our house? Where is our house? Where can our house be at? Would this ever be our house? Would this ever be our house?
Yeah, but you have to change. You have yes, but the mentality of you has to change. You understand what I'm saying? Your mentality has to change. If you start talking about you want to create a business from scratch and you serious about it, you got to put the work in like late night. You're gonna be up late at night. You're gonna do research and make those things happen. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna do. But as long as you never take the proper steps to own a house or to sit down and say, okay, cool, I can't smoke in your house. Well, tell me how you got this house. Let me glean some wisdom from you. Whether you be black, white, whatever color you are, let me glean some wisdom from you. So let me see how you got this. So once I see how you got this one, I'm gonna go get 3. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So we have to stop worrying about, you know what I'm saying? Stop worrying about, yes, how can I go get 3? All you know what I'm saying? All it takes, man, is a mindset shift. Why was Nat Turner able to do what he did? It was a mindset shift. Some people read the Bible and think one thing. He read the Bible and had a whole different point of view. His mind shifted. You understand what I'm saying? How you got all these, you got different, the girl who created this whole slutty vegan restaurant in Atlanta. These people, these mind shifts, man. The people, your mind shift, your mind change and allow you to do things that is, oh my God, man. I'm not even gonna start building on none of that type of stuff, man. But the mental capacity that everyone have, especially black people, and we're talking about you having a DNA encoded from your ancestors. This stuff is written on your brain. So if you knew what happened to your ancestors, it should make you angry enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna take over the world. I'm gonna bat a hole. Ain't nobody coming to this community. I'm gonna bat the entire block up. We should stand on their shoulders, but a lot of times we spit on our ancestors by the actions that we do. Like the brother said, we want to sell crack in our neighborhood. We want to rape our own women. And that's a whole nother conversation. You spit on the grave of your ancestors, man. That's literally what you're doing. You complain about something, but you don't want no change because that's the worst type of devil, man. That's the worst type of devil. Right there. Is a doggone coon. But I'm gonna be quiet, man, because I'm starting to. Let me just shut up. Anybody feel free to jump in. I think I'm going on a tangent.
No, maybe he's all right, man. My Zoom is messing up tonight for some reason again. Internet's high. I say, man, such a leak sucks, man. I might switch up. You know.
Yeah. Does it make sense what I was saying though, or no, not really? Somebody rebuttal me or add on or whatever.
Oh no, sound good. We know Ron getting here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I ain't even muted. Yeah, y'all go ahead, man. I don't know.
435.
Say that again.
Homeboy here, man.
No, get in here, brother.
435. He probably went to sleep.
No, the brother here, his mic not muted.
Hey, Cam, what was you asking me earlier?
Oh yeah, I called you twice, bro. We're talking about the Deshaun Jackson situation. Did you sent me some message about it, man? I never
What
got.
about
You sent me some messenger, and I ain't never. Did he really apologize, Deshaun Jackson?
Oh yeah, he really apologized. He apologized and said that he don't hate anybody and he don't hate the Jewish community and shit like that. He really apologized.
What's up with your mic, man? Sound like
You know,
It's basically, which is
should have
the
it.
media. They
static,
were,
man. Static.
he posted that shit.
Say it again. Say it again, Ron.
I said the Jewish community, which is the media.
Right. You know, I keep thinking about Riley Cooper, that receiver. And he said what he said, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they still kept him on the damn team. And he was a sorry ass receiver. He won't even know what good. Nobody's good as Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, you know, we got to look at the climate that we in. You know. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Yeah, we hear you, Ron.
Nah, I can't hear y'all.
Oh. But you know that it's all on ESPN that yeah, we hear you, brother. We hear you, Ron.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you.
You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Man, Riley Cooper, like I said, Riley Cooper, sorry I tell didn't get suspended off the team. Saying nigga. What is this man talking about?
Deshaun Jackson didn't get suspended.
Huh?
Oh, well, he had to come back. Yeah, he had to come back and apologize. Yeah, he had to come back and apologize because he wasn't trying to get suspended. That's going to mess his money up. He can't do like Trump. He can't do like Trump and say, "Yeah, I said that shit and I meant it." See, so yeah, but like Master, you say, power. Okay, what kind of power do you have, right? You know, what kind of power do you have? I mean, if you know, like I said, I don't know what his finances is, and I hope these brothers is making this. They're making multiple lifetime worth of money. they making, you know, if you middle class person, you'll make anywhere from $800 to $1.2 million over your entire working lifetime, right? That's if you're lucky, right? They make that in a few months. So, you know, at some point you gotta say, you know what, I'm gonna stop. I'm getting ready to take this money out and invest it. I'm gonna flip this money, these millions, and I'm gonna flip them into billions. Okay. Then you can say some stuff. You say, well, you know, yeah, I said it. Okay, I said it. What you gonna do about it? That's power. You know, right now, you got somebody to still the millions that he's making. Somebody's writing a check, giving him millions. So the person writing that check has power because they can say, you know what, Deshaun, you know, you're north of 30. North of 30, you've lost a step. We'd love to have you. They love you here, but you said some stuff to piss off the ownership, and you pissed off, you know, some of the heavyweight people within the league. So I think we're gonna move in a different direction.
If you think he being that he apologized, do you think they'll give him another chance to bring him back?
Oh yeah, they'll give him a. That's because now, like I said, if he shows contrition, that's you know, and now you're gonna make a public service announcement. You're gonna be on commercials talking about anti-Semitism and racism and prejudice and, you know, being insensitive and all of that kind of stuff. And, you know, he'll be on a commercial with Julian Edelman and some other people around the league. And see, that's how you get set up. All right. Now you'll be supporting, you know, transgender and everything else. See, so like I said, is that's what you call you ain't making the money. The money is making you. Right. So that's the game. Now the money is getting ready to make. He didn't put himself in a situation. This is why I tell people you have to craft your words carefully. Okay. You know, I mean, and think about the situations. Well, it's free to speak. Yeah, you're free to say whatever you want to say. And a lot of people say, oh, no, what about freedom of speech? Yeah. You are free to say whatever you say. If you're a white man, you're free to call a black person a nigger, but you're not free from the consequences of your words.
Like you know, I take it like this here. You know, being that this is a track record this thing going on, man. Like this is why Professor Griff got kicked off of the internet.
Right.
For saying what he said, and Leo Cohen want to take him to the museum. The same thing Alderman is trying to do with Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah.
Take him to the walk with the museum.
Mm-hmm.
And all this stuff. Do y'all know the true history of these Jews? Ashkenazi Jews? Anybody know about these Ashkenazi Jews?
Yeah, I know that true history.
Yeah. Yeah, we know about it. I know many of us know about it.
Are they of the land? And I asked Wednesday night, do anybody know what Semitic means?
Yeah, we know that we know that they are not the original the Jews. They're a group of people that is claiming to be somebody that they not, you know. But back to Deshaun Jackson. See, Deshaun Leonard kind of cleared it up. Like he didn't want that money to get hurt. You know what I'm saying? So, and see, this is where we mess up. Where we try to put our athletes and our actors and make them into revolutionaries or make them into you know,
Leaders.
Leaders of the struggle. They not. You know, at the end of the day, they
really not.
Hey Ryan, you breaking up bad, brother. You breaking up real bad. But what I wanted to say, as far as them not being leaders, they're not leaders, man. And at the end of the day, they're nothing more than gladiators.
Yep.
And they're just
At the
gladiators.
end of the day, they still getting that check cut by the white man.
Yeah, there you go.
So they can't lead and say no more than what they're allowed to say because
We in 2020 and we still thinking these people are leaders. Really?
I'm just saying, what I'm saying is a lot of times we take things that celebrities, actors, or people that play sports, we take these things that they say and we run with it like you give it validation of what we already saying. And that's where we're backwards with it. Because these people, they may be coming on to, but they got publicists. They're surrounded by a lot of white people. You get what I'm saying? They are, like I was about to say, they're nothing but gladiators in a modern time. This is Rome just in 2020. So what did they do and back in Rome to keep the people asleep? What did they did? They had the Colosseum. They had the Colosseum where they had them games where they in there fighting to death and lions eating people and shit like that going on. All they did was changed it, gave them a football, gave them a basketball, gave them a baseball. And now these are the modern day gladiators. Our sports, that's what they are. And something Leonard was talking about earlier was talking about when that stimulus money come out. Not only that, the NBA about to start back up in them bubble, right? the NBA want that money, right? You got the NFL that want that money. So you got the NBA saying, well, we're gonna put Black Lives Matter on the court, right? Right. You got the NBA, they allowing them to put stuff on their jerseys now, custom made jerseys with Black Lives Matter or my black skin shouldn't be a weapon. And now you know these jerseys are gonna be getting sold at a nice rate. They're gonna be authentic and custom jerseys. So these ain't gonna be jerseys that you can buy regular. They're gonna be custom made jerseys. So you know they'll make buku money off this, right? So you got the NBA saying, yo, we with y'all. Then you got the NFL wherein Roger Goodell saying Colin Kaepernick should be on a team. Donald Trump talking about, yeah, if he can play, right? You got owners that's saying, or you got Roger Goodell saying that the NFL got it wrong with the protests. So you have these sports right now that they're fighting to seem like they are a part of the movement and they understand what is going on, but all they're doing is fighting for our money. Because they have lost money, especially the NBA. The NBA took a hit with this coronavirus, right? NFL really haven't because their season is just coming around, right? But you got, I think that Major League Baseball took a hit. You know, on golf, all this stuff, tennis. What's some of this stuff being played right now? But they have all took a hit. Sports in general. Then you got the movie theaters. So you got movie stars that's took a hit. You got these actors, these entertainers. You know, you got people that rap, sing. All these they've been taking hits because of this coronavirus. So what they doing? They're coming up with ways to stay relevant. Some of them even doing network marketing now. I don't fault them. They're making money, but my thing that I'm trying to say is that with this coronavirus and this pandemic that we're under, a lot of businesses have taken hits, and now they are jockeying they're jockeying for us to pay attention to them to give them revenue. So what Deshaun Jackson actually said, what he said was good, but at the same time, it's gonna hurt. Now, if Deshaun Jackson was in the NBA, he wouldn't have to come out and apologize. The NBA is what percentage African American, right? I'm talking as far as the player or the percentage that the players own and the owners on the NBA. The CBA is really different. But in the NFL, you got a different thing. Most of the owners are white, right? The players union don't have as much bite or they don't have such a grip on the league like in the NBA. In the NBA, the players league got the grip on the NBA. They really got the grip, man. And so he could have said that in the NBA, probably got away with it, but not in the NFL. So you got that dynamic playing out, but they want us to watch some games coming up because they want that money. They losing money. So this stuff is economic also. Y'all jump in, man. I don't know. I went a certain way and then change gears in the whole 9 yards.
Javis in the building. What's going on, Javis?
I don't know if you can hear me. What's up?
Going on with you, man? Glad to have you up here, man.
Man, I don't see nobody else in here. I don't see so everybody can hear everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't never used this thing before. I just downloaded this thing.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. We talking about everything, any topic, man. Anything you want to say tonight? Want to speak on tonight? We talking about Deshaun Jackson, whatever. NFL, the Jews, whatever.
Nah, I ain't been keeping up with the NFL stuff. Yeah,
I saw you on Facebook talking about the pedophiles, and we were talking about that before you got on.
Yeah. That's a serious situation,
Yeah. People sleeping on it. All that mess connected, man. Black Lives Matter, the organization, George Soros run all that. Eugenics,
Yeah.
Planned Parenthood, LGBT, he run all them organizations. They all do the same thing, work hand in hand, but people don't believe it though.
Yeah. The more I was just watching a video today where they was talking about now they starting in Los Angeles and New York, and it was another state where they starting to now, if children come to school and they want to identify as a different gender, it's against the rules for the teachers to tell the parents.
Wow.
And this is actually in effect. Like, this is not something that's about to happen. They already got it going. It's in Los Angeles, in New York.
Say it
And
again.
it was another state where
What did you just
now
say?
the kids, like if your children go to school, is in public schools, of course. They haven't infiltrated the private schools. It'll be a little harder to infiltrate private schools, but they're gonna go after the private schools next. But now in some of the public schools in Los Angeles and New York, if your child come to class one day and your child say if you got a boy or a girl, anyone, if they say they want to identify with the opposite sex, like that's how they want to identify. They see themselves as a girl or they see themselves as a boy. The school, it is against the rules for the teachers to tell the child parents that your child wants to be identified as the opposite sex. So that's like a whole nother thing, because now it's getting to the point now where parents are losing their parental authority over their own children. Yeah, this is something serious going on.
That right there makes me want to cuss, because like you said, is because like it's parents, and see, here's the thing: is if it's within our community, you already know that most of our children live in a household with their mother. Not to say that the father is not a part of their lives, but their mother. Okay, so now you have a situation where nobody knows what's going on. Kid is just they leaving school dressed in pants, going to school dressed in a dress. Okay, with a wig on, because that's what I want to be now. So, but my thing is this: is that's a family discussion. That's a family conversation, and for the school to say, well, this person is an individual. Okay, so here's my thing. All right. If the child is an individual, okay, If the child is an individual and has individual rights, then I don't want to be responsible for the actions of that child, right? If there's some sort of punitive action, say, well, that's a minor, and that falls on the parents and all this. If the schools can do that, you can't have it both ways, right? You can't be like, well, but you know what's the trip about that is that's the same thing they did back when I was in high school in the 80s.
Yeah.
With birth control. Okay. Same thing. The girls in Chicago, the girls could, because they was just that Planned Parenthood. All right. So the girls could be like, I need some birth control. And the girls could get birth control from the school nurse and be on birth control and not tell the parents that they're on birth control. Okay. So it's the same type of thing. So now it's, if Bobby goes out the house dressed like a boy and on the way there switches speeds and puts on a dress and a wig and now is dressed like a girl with lipstick and makeup and everything else, all right, and still is Bobby, the school, that's, so what happens when they take pictures? You take pictures.
Yeah.
You say, well, where are you at in the picture? I don't see you in the picture. Wait a minute. Hold on. That's pretty ridiculous. But that's, just progressive liberal type movement because some of it makes no sense whatsoever. And, and like the brother Neb said, is that's all leading toward children being able to have sex with grown people, right? Yeah. And it'd be okay. That's what, if a child, can go ahead and self-identify and all of this. Oh yeah. So now we don't have to worry about a child's brain being developed, his critical thinking or her critical thinking being developed. Now they can, they're old enough to be able to self-identify and say they don't have to be, you don't have to nothing with a minor or parents have to be involved or anything. So the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to have grown people being able to legally have sex with children. So
let me jump in on this because that's already happening, man. I showed right now the parents can sign over the rights to their kids to get married, right? But this is what happened when they allow homosexuality to come into, and they changed the book. They changed the meaning,
right,
and took it from being a disorder, and made it into what it is now. And pedophilia is going to take the same route that homosexuality took. And I said this, I was talking about this 5-6 years ago. I got posts when I was saying that if we don't make a stand about this homosexuality, in 10 to 15 years, pedophilia is going to be normal. They have something now where the kids, a child now, I forgot what it's called, a child can say that they have the mind of a grown person. I forgot what it's called. It's one of these, they got these different words now for like transhumanism, transgender, like it's a trans word, but what it means is that a 5-year-old kid can say that they in a 5-year-old body, but they have the mind of a 60-year-old man.
Yeah.
So that means you can have a 60-year-old man that says that, a 60-year-old woman that says that I'm 60 years old, but I have the mind of a 5-year-old boy. And they will allow them to get married and actually have intercourse. This is what they're trying to push toward us. But what we really got to talk about is, and I'm trying to pull it up while y'all talking, so I'm going to be quiet. But we really got to talk about when he says that, do you own your children? What is that birth certificate? Once you get a birth certificate, what are you really doing when you get a birth certificate? That's
So-
what we have to talk about.
And
So-
this is I'm gonna touch on what my man said, Leonard Walker. These people are not liberals. Like when you look at liberals, classic liberals, they really believed in limited government. They didn't believe in a top-down approach on fixing problems. But what happened now with the left is the extreme left show. So they trying to use government power to enforce the ideologies that they make concessions to. And I think Black people get tangled up, and white people too, but particularly speaking with Black people, people get tangled up on the parties like Democrat and Republicans, but what it all boils down to is ideas and ideologies that people make concessions to. That's what it really boils down to. Like people, it don't matter if you black, white, or candy stripe. What you believe in is what you believe in. And that's how people normally vote. But when people start to identify with a party, it starts getting to the point where you don't really, how would I put it? People tend not to speak their truth, and they just tend to follow whatever group they're supposed to, like, quote unquote, supposed to follow. So a lot of Black people feel that we're supposed to be in the Democratic Party. And then you have the Black people that switched over to conservatives, and they feel we're supposed to be conservatives because when you go back in history, it was Black people being conservatives. But it's like people getting tangled up too much in the party idea. You need to start looking at the ideologies that's being pushed through the policies and what ideologies fit your community best to progress your community at the certain time that you're in. Because certain time frames, you don't want to have certain type of ideologies pushed. And right now, that whole LGBT community and the whole agenda that the Black Lives Matter is pushing is going to hurt Black people more than anybody, because Black people already have a more disintegrated household. So now, as soon as that get pushed in, it's like the people with, okay, when they bring these things into public school, a lot of Black people are in public schools. A lot of Black people don't have males in the household. A lot of Black families don't have males in the household. And a lot of this stuff is being pushed with compassion. So people feel sorry for other people that's in other groups because they tend to go through some sense of social oppression, because the social norm that was built was male, female, get together, have a baby. So now when somebody is born into the world and they find themselves to be homosexual, they feel this oppression feeling, like I'm not accepted into this society. So it's like, basically what I'm trying to say is people need to focus on ideologies, like what type of ideology is getting pushed. And this ideology that is ruling the Democratic class right now is an ideology that's been pushed for centuries. And it's something that Black people, like right now, really need to get away from.
I got a question. Well,
Yeah.
All right. Anybody can answer this that know. What made, I know, like 80 years ago, 90 years ago, that Black people was conservative. And most Black people are conservative, but still vote Democrat. But what made the switch? What was the real switch that Black people were Democrat?
What you had was the Northern Democrat. You had FDR. FDR came from Hyde Park, New York, and he was the Northern Democrat. You know, the Southern Democrat was all about the Klan and preserving white supremacy and that sort of thing. Because Democrats came from Andrew Jackson, right? All right, and the whole donkey, because they said he was an ass of a man. He said, okay, so you know what? I'm an ass of a man. That's gonna be the symbol of my party, and I'm gonna be the father of the Democratic Party. We're gonna be about slavery. We're gonna be about white supremacy. We're gonna be about separate, all of that. So what you had is in the early 20s, you started to have the Northern Democrat, all right, which what the Northern Democrat says, listen, okay, we can control people, but instead of being forceful about controlling people like the Southern Democrats are, we're just going to be subtle about it and say, hey, listen, how is your government really serving you? Your government needs to be doing these things. Your government needs, well, what about the man who's not rich? What about the 99% that don't have or whatever? And this was during a time where, you had the middle class being built, right? So what you had is the extremely rich, you had the people who lived a subsistence lifestyle, and then you had those integrating into the urban lifestyle, joining into the industrialized America where they start to build the middle class. Well, like I said, it's the Northern Democrat was like, hey, you can create a union, because they were still racist. Now, don't get me wrong, because the labor unions was like, hey, these corporations, money does not see color, right? If you're a businessman and I can get the job done with these black people over here, and I can pay them 2/3 less than I pay a white person, they do an excellent job, and I can undercut my competition and still make a profit and still have earnings and all of that. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, white folks from World War I and all of this came back and said, no. I done fought for my country. I need these jobs. So you have the Northern Democrats that said, listen, we need to do something to help out these American citizens that have, our government is not serving the people that really need help as much. So that's it. So what you had is you had that Northern Democrat, the service of people. Well, during the Civil Rights Movement, you had like what's the baseball player? What's his name?
Jackie Robinson.
Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson actually went to the Republican Party and said, listen, okay, you the party of Lincoln, the party that freed the slaves and trying to make us equal citizens and constitutional rights and everything. Join us into this civil rights movement. And they said, no, we're not going to do that, because that's going to hurt the interests of, the people that we supported, which Republicans have always been about. They always have a meritorious type relationship. Whoever makes the most money, all right, that's who I'm going to be loyal to, all right, the people at the top. So they didn't get involved in the civil rights movement. And black people was Republican, but the Democrats was like, oh, the Northern Democrats, with Kennedy, all right, and the Northern, from Massachusetts and New York and all these places, the Northern Democrat became attractive to black people because it was a situation where, okay, the ideals of okay, we're going to create rules and policies to where the little man can get these jobs and the little man can do this and the government will protect you with this and that. And so, with the New Deal where, hey, if the economy crashes, every person have a chicken in a pot and all of this kind. So, initially we wasn't a part of that, but, civil rights movement, that happened. Then, like you said, as you had, the rumor that went around that said, Lyndon B. Johnson said, yeah, I had these niggas voting for Democrats for 200 years by, signing this Equal Rights Amendment, which is kind of, I got issue with that, because where we as a people went wrong is that you have an Equal Rights Amendment and you have a Voting Rights Amendment. Well, you're already a U.S. citizen, okay? A United States citizen protected by the U.S. Constitution, right? And that we should have been fighting for constitutional rights, right? And I understand, because the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment are actually considered the Civil Rights Amendments, okay? And we didn't go that route. We had some other amendments created because they actually created, we had a Civil Rights Amendment, you had a Civil Rights Act of 1866, 1867 that got denied. So got all of these things, right? So, but what it is the Democrats, right? And I say this, the Democrats, at least they pay attention to us. When we cry, they listen. They try to pacify us. Think about it like this, right? All of the suffering we're going through right now, what are the Republicans doing? The Republicans are saying, you know what? That's terrible. That's bad. But you know what? You need to suck it up and focus on being about America, right? The Democrats are saying, "Oh no, we need to listen to these people because America's the bad guy in the boogie." And you know what? We're gonna change all of that for you guys, and we're gonna start off by recognizing and start singing, lift every voice and sing. That's what we'll do. We ain't gonna change no policy. Things that you want like reparations. Oh no, we're not talking about that. All that goes on the back burner, and then we're gonna, say, well, what about taking care of these immigrants or these people, right? So you get sucked into this thing because these people make it seem like they are concerned and they care, but they really don't. So,
Did y'all know? Did y'all know? Not to interrupt you. But this is a fact. Y'all can look it up. In California, they're passing a law. It's gonna go nationwide. A lot of things done in California, New York, so you gotta watch out. They passing a law that churches cannot sing. No singing in churches and no chanting.
Huh? How are they gonna be able to? How are they gonna be able to enforce that?
Hey,
yeah,
that's in California. Hey, they're gonna do it, man.
Performance.
Hey, look, y'all. Let me share my screen. I want to touch on something about the birth certificate and the children making them the decisions. So I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna play some.
The B-E-R-T-H, birth. Being birthed from a vessel, being good.
Yeah. I'm gonna just share my screen and I'm gonna play. It's only like 2-3 minutes. I ain't play that much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But the brother talking about this. What's up with this, man? Get away. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna play this.
What is the item sonance? By definition, an identity of sound in the pronunciation of words or names, the occurrence in a document of a material word or name misspelled but having the sound of the word. They spell your name in all caps as property of their trust instead of your parents. Your parents inadvertently sold your birthright from the time of the birth certificate. Everything is done in contracts. Your birthright has been sold due to these contracts that you don't know about per the item sonance.
All right, so that's it. I'm gonna stop sharing. But Brother Leonard was about to jump into it, but that's basically what he going to, Brother Leonard, about the water and the good and the canal and why the banks are the banks, because the banks are always beside a canal, and what drives down a canal is the water, and the water breaks. And like when a woman water breaks, then the vessel, when a boat stops, it's called when the water breaks, and they carrying a precious commodity. And what they have to do, they have to log that commodity in once they come. The same way when you're having a child, like they use that maritime law. So our birthright has been taken away from us once we get a birth certificate. So this is why the state can come out and tell you that when your kids are in school, if they want to identify as this, or this, you can't do nothing about it as a parent. This is why the state can tell you that you can't discipline your child. You can't beat your child, because if your child called the police on you for beating them, then it's a possibility that Child Protective Services will come in and take your children. It's because that as long as we are legally considered a minority, and what's a minority, when you look at this word, when you're dealing with law, is dealing with someone that is a minor, not an adult. So you're not an adult. So that means that you don't make adult decisions. So when you go to court, that's why you got to have a lawyer, because you're not an adult, you're a minor, right? And that's why you have a birth certificate. That's why you have a marriage certificate, and also that's why you have a death certificate. But that's it. I'm gonna leave that alone. Y'all can go ahead. But I just wanted to bring that up though about the birth certificate and the fact that the state own the rights to our children. Like they can tell us we can't beat them, but the cops can shoot them down in the street. and the cops can get away with killing our children. But if we beat them, they come take them from us. That tells you a lot, man.
That's good information right there about the shit. I heard that some years ago. Before you put polite up there. I heard it about years ago. I think the more science people talk about that too. And it's true.
Yeah.
Whether you like them or not, it's true. Go ahead.
Talking about the straw man, how you take control of your straw man. This is why it's important to create an LLC or to create some sort of, like, give you a good example, right? It's Oprah Winfrey. Her name is Oprah Winfrey, but she does business as Oprah. All of her debt, all of everything else goes through Oprah. Her credit, everything she owns, all of that, because Oprah is a brand and it is her corporation and it is her straw man she controls and owns. So that's how you're able to be, and like I said, here in North Carolina, it don't cost for what, $125 to create an LLC. So all your business assets, everything you do, all of that can be separated and be under your LLC. And when you do business, that shields you as a person. You now, like I said, with the children's rights and laws and things like that, that's a little bit complicated because now you're talking about trying to homeschool and creating a homeschooling community to where the education is still there, but the socialization, private schools, like I say, the religious schools, charter schools, there's different levels of what you can do. But that singing in church, I don't really understand how they're going to be able to stop that because that's part of the First Amendment. Now you have people, and see, this is what I'm talking about as far as being a citizen, all right, making it your business, not being a patriot, all right, not being a patriot, all right, not, you ain't got to love this country, but you gotta, if you qualify for the rights that this country, has endowed you with, you need to exercise. All right? Yeah. And you need to know what you can exercise. So that's where we fall short is, oh, well, they can do this. No, they can't do that. If it's enough of us, then you can't do this because I'm protected by this right here. So you can't tell me how I'm going to do so. I'm not killing no babies, and I'm not killing up a bunch of animals and having animal sacrifices, and I'm not, I'm not doing anything illegal, right? So, and the things that you're trying to make illegal is ridiculous because now you're taking my words away. All right, and you take my you take my words away. That words are power. So, that's pretty serious right there. So,
hey, say Haru, go and pull it up, man. Show the screen about that law in California. I ain't lying. It's real. It's real, and they're gonna start with that, man. They got some against religion. I don't consider myself a Christian. I don't go to church, but still, they got the right to sing. Come on, now.
Yeah, you got a right to worship however you want to worship, as long as, and that's the whole thing, is if you minding your business, doing your thing, and you're not up there doing stuff to children or old folks or anything like that, or you could be singing about whatever. Hey, listen, I've seen some cults, all right, where they be having some stuff going on, and you see, like, what the hell are they doing? But at the same time, nobody was getting hurt, and the people that were doing this were adults, and they was their choice. So you talking about freedom, I mean, I don't understand what is the purpose of you can't sing in church no more. But I don't even understand the purpose of that. But you see, but like I said, is that's a chess move right there. Because what that might be about is, okay, so what we're trying to do is, create a law where you can't sing in church, but the only way you can sing is now you have to start paying taxes. See, so that's what that might be set. That's something to set up something else down the line, which, like I said, is they can't, if you're smart enough, like I said, you'll see what's going on there because, you got this faith-based initiative, all that. But, taxing the churches and taxing the preachers and all this kind of stuff. But when you start opening the door to taxing nonprofits, then you got to tax the NBA and the NFL, because what people don't know is the NBA and the NFL are nonprofit organizations. Let me say that again. All of the money that the NBA and NFL make is nonprofit. This is why the highest paid person, who's the highest paid person, who's the highest paid person in the NFL?
Mahomes.
Nope.
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell.
Oh,
Roger
this
Goodell. Roger Goodell makes about, how much he make? About 40-some, 50-some million dollars a year, and ain't under a contract. He's not under no contract. He's an employee of the NFL. Just like, you have contracted employees to be players. And they, Mahomes would he's going to try to get 50 million over, or not 50 million, 500 million. All right. So he hey, and I'm not mad at the brother. Hey, get that money, right? But my point is that Roger Goodell makes the most money. Now, it may not, after Mahomes, it may not be that way, right? But still, Mahomes is under contract, and he got incentives he got to do, and it's all kinds of stuff. Roger Goodell is an employee. He ain't got no contract. I am the employee I'm the commissioner, which is basically the CEO, all right? And my job is to make sure that the NFL is profitable. It's like being the president of the NFL. So yeah, but like I said, these churches. Don't get me wrong. No, I'm not a Christian, but I believe that Christians, people who call themselves Christians, should have the right to be able to practice their faith. If you're a Muslim, you have the right to practice your faith. If you're a Buddhist, you have the right to practice your faith. If you're a Satanist and you ain't killing animals or babies, right? You have the right to practice your faith, even if you are killing animals, as long as you eat them.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's the problem. I'm gonna be real quick, man. I ain't gonna hold you up. That's the problem, man. You got a bunch of damn satanic people running this country, man. And atheists, you know what I mean? They hate spirituality, they hate religion. That's all I gotta say.
It was a case that happened. I think it was like probably about 2 years ago, where a Catholic, bakery shop, some gay people came in to get a cake, and they told them no, because they consider homosexuality. Man, them pushed. They the Catholics. They hate for they. And it's the same thing going on with doctors too. Where the doctors, I'm chopping up.
Yeah, I'm chopping up.
Hello.
Yeah, we hear you, brother.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with doctors. They force doctors to do the surgeries that these transgender people want. Doing, they can lose their license. Trump passed a bill this year, I think, that kind of protected them a little bit from being forced to do it. But man, these people, man, I'm telling you, man, this man, I don't even know what you want to call them, but they pushing hard, and they basically trying to use the government. That's what they trying. Basically, trying to acquire the power and use the power to force their ideologies on everybody. I mean, we see these type of things happen all the time. Well, I ain't gonna say all the time, but if you study history and you study the right parts of history, you will see these same type things happening all the time. It was like the same. It's like similar, and most of this is coming from people like Karl Marx, and I know y'all probably heard of Karl Marx, and what's the other guy named Jacques Derrida and Michel Foucault. You know, Karl Marx came with Marxism, where he was talking about the economic, and that's how you can look at it. A lot of this stuff is dealing with oppressor versus the oppressed. And that was Karl Marx's model when he built the whole economic model, saying the rich get rich, the poor get poor. And what happened is now these postmodernists and these feminist groups coming in, they starting to use the same exact concept, but they took it further. So, and that was Derrida. Derrida was the one, and Michel Foucault is the one that pushed the postmodernist agenda. They were basically like the beginning of it, but they was influenced by prior to them. But they so now you have all these people coming out. But it's crazy though, because when I started looking more into, you know, some of the people that was activists for the Black community, a lot of them was Marxists. A lot of them was Marxists, and it's like that's not a route Black people want. I don't feel that's a route Black people want to go down. Not Marxist is, and it's just a bad road. Postmodernism is just hell. But that's where a lot of this coming from. So now, right, you have UK in the UK made it now, and there's schools where you can't have best because it's exclusion. So just put on y'all got jobs or anything, if y'all work for your own self or whatever. But I work in a shipyard over in Newport News, right? And for the past year or two, they've been pushing this whole thing called inclusion and diversity. So they've been ramping up on making sure they hire people that's not in the majority. So like I work in the trade. I used to work in this trade. It was a painting trade, and the painting trade is like 80% Black males. So when I've been working there for about 10 years, and I've been working with the same people.
Oh yeah.
So when me and my two homeboys went up for supervisor, right? We the only ones down there going to make up. We've been there longer than everybody else. You know what I'm saying? We done worked on all the hard jobs for years. So when they did the hiring process for the supervisors, they hired everybody that's fit in the realm of inclusion and diversity. So this is predominantly Black trade, and there's males. So they basically stayed away from Black males, and they hired a Filipino guy, a Venezuelan guy, a South African guy, a female, and then they hired somebody from a totally different trade. And see, this is like the same thing. This type of stuff right here is coming from. This is like they fed off of Black people oppression in the United States. So we know Black people was ostracized by policies like Blacks can't come here, Blacks can't work here. So we had to fight for policies to get pushed so we can actually be allowed to get in certain schools and stuff like that. But now these other groups, they calling themselves oppressed too. And they saying, look, this society is oppressive. It don't like gays. This society don't like whatever they make concessions to. So now y'all have to make policies to basically discriminate against everyone else so I can be included into the world also. So they be coming with a lot of stuff like that. And it's working, man. I'm trying to tell you, man, you can't, at my job, if you walking down the hallway and you see a male walking to a female bathroom, you can't say nothing to him. You can get fired. Seriously.
So here's my question to the brother. This is basically anything, man. Like, again, I go back to what I said earlier, man. You got to make yourself aware of stuff and put yourself in a position of power. You know, working in the shipyard, we don't own the shipyards. Whatever policies and stuff they put in place, that's what they put, and ain't nothing we can do about it. So, like, again, I mean, I always say, man, I look at what people are doing, and I study what they're doing, and I apply that knowledge to myself. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, if you paint and say, okay, cool, I'm working for the shipyard here, I'm gonna get my own painting business on the side. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this on the side. So no matter who they hire, whether they hire me or somebody else, there's a way I can make this money. You make sense of what I'm saying? And so, like, a big thing for me that I realized, man, like, I had a mentality. I grew up, my mama always said, you go out and you get it. And even though she taught me those certain things, I still kind of had like, I had a phase in my life to where I kind of felt like, well, why certain things keep going over me? I feel like I'm working hard, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You understand? And basically everything that you're saying. And after a while, man, my mama sat me down again, was like, boy, did I raise you better than that? You know what I'm saying? Stop coming around me, saying this stuff. Then if you want better, then you go do better. And one thing I realized, man, is that hard work don't lead to success. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way. Just because somebody is powerful don't necessarily mean that they're great. You know what I'm saying? That don't necessarily mean that they're great. And so, like, hard work just means hard work. Don't mean you could be successful at it. At least hard work physically. You understand what I'm saying? And so, like, for me, man, moving up any type of ladder, it all boils down to your mind. You understand what I'm saying? And I think the shipyard is a great job. You understand what I'm saying? And I know that most people will not think the way that I think. But the shipyard is a great job. I mean, it's good. But a lot of people that I know, like some people look at me and be like, yo, Master, you man, you ain't doing no hard work. You doing X, Y, and Z. I do hard work. I just do it with my brain. I did that hard work before. I don't pull weeds in the field. I did that stuff before. And I knew that's not what I want to do my entire life. So let me study these people who own the farm and see what they do. Let me ask them some questions during lunch to see what you do. Let me talk to the supervisor and say, okay, how did you get the job to be a supervisor? How do you get to be the job, the one who hired the supervisor? Let me know these things. Let me know. Because now I want that job. I don't want that job. I want this job. And you're right. Basically, people pick off black people. They ride our wave and then get in and it benefit them, but it never benefit us. But what I want us black people to do is like, you know what? Let me see what they're doing. Let me go ahead and start my own. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. Black dollars and black culture influence the world. And until we until we realize that, they will always treat us the same, man. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have nothing against nobody who gay, straight, whatever. You live your life, I don't pay your bills. But I'm telling you, man, why is it that an Arab can come into a black neighborhood and set up a store, but a black person won't go do it? But we get mad at Arabs and say, man, you sell these cigarettes for $5. You understand what I'm saying? You rather give him the money, but your homeboy got a shirt company that's pay, you know what I'm saying? That like he don't have a store, he don't have all these things, so I gotta charge you a little more. But you won't spend money with your homeboy. We'll go to KFC, you know what I'm saying? We'll go to scale, and I'm not trying to be funny, man. We'll go to KFC and do all this stuff, and then we complain about high blood pressure. Instead of making, you get what I'm saying? And so it's not that we don't have the knowledge or the it's not that we don't have the knowledge or the capability to do, we just don't. I look at somebody like you, what you just said, man, you've been doing this thing for years, so obviously you are an amazing painter. Or at least I would think so. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you that great, man, go ahead and start your own painting company. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you know, there's some contractors out, you know, they have like I don't know about it for painting, but like, you know, there's like the SBA, you know, dealing with small business, and you being a minority company, you are a black male. You get what I'm saying? You know, so use some of that same stuff to your advantage, bro. You get what I'm saying? You the same stuff. You obviously very well educated and you know what you're doing. Man, bump them. I know there's no disrespect to them, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Learn take what you got from them and apply it to yourself.
I got 2 houses and I got a clothing company also. So
my home, that's peace, brother.
Yeah,
that's it.
always.
I love it.
Yeah, so and then I'm working on another store now where I'm about to start selling. I got workwear, so I sell clothes at my job, like coveralls and stuff like that. So I sell clothes at the actual job I work because I know what people like in their clothing. So I sell that. I'm working on trying to get me a manufacturing company. I'm most likely gonna have to put it outside of the United States though, because it just costs too much to pay people here. But I got another clothing company that I'm about to start, and I'm gonna push it like workouts. Like, but the reason I bring that up is because you gotta see that ideology is spreading through the whole entire country. So like when you send your kids to school, your kids gonna be learning this. You send your kids to elementary, middle school, high school, and college, they're gonna learn this. They're gonna indoctrinate in this. Even for the work, you're gonna have to fix it. So it's like all people won't be able to be entrepreneurs. And I don't know what route my child is taking. My child might want to be an entrepreneur, my child might want to go to school. So it's like I have to make sure I play a role in the society that he's be raised. So that's when politics come in and everything like that, because like look, these people don't care. Man, these people really, really believe in what they believe in, and they are trying to sit on people.
Facts. I agree with you 100%.
I made that note earlier. Yeah, that's why I made that note earlier about on liberals and leftists. Like, there's a difference. Liberals can be on the right and the left, but you got the extreme left. And it's so the reason why I said black people don't really want to go down Marxism, because Marxists, they don't believe in capitalism, believe in free enterprise. Like everybody get mad about capitalism, but at the same time, you heard black people say capitalism and all this, but then they'll turn around and say black people need to be entrepreneurs. Like, that's capitalism. That's you become a capitalist. You got to become an entrepreneur. So you can't get rid of that. That's free enterprise. That means your ability to operate society and start wherever section you want to start it in. So if you want to be a pharmaceutical company, you can do that.
I'm all for that. I'm all for capitalism,
be a
bro.
pharmaceutical as a black person. Yeah, and it's like people. I think staying capitalism is always been about, and it is entrepreneurship. It is private ownership. That's exactly what. So it's like if you want black people to have a Black Wall Street or something like that, you have to be for capital. You can't do it in society because socialism is more of a collective society where at the state and do with the money, try to distribute it across everybody equally with the act and the equality and act, and they push it. Well, I'm good for equality because I have equal opportunity that we can manage. Because one thing we can't do is we can't be in the same as far as probably was born with a family that's live in a certain type of area and a certain type of but I'm probably born in the hood, and then over here was born type of family. I'm just told that like you can change those things. That's like you just got in that. So of course your opportunity to certain type of knowledge wouldn't be the same, but you can't blame the government for that. So the things that we need for equal opportunity is like make sure I have a fair shake. That if I come to the table and I put my bid in for this job, I'm being discriminated against my race, height, my sex preference, or anything like that. That's all government can do. When you going now, you giving the government and equity thing. That's because we need each diverse group to be equally on all levels.
You have to think about it. The first three people.
This is the thing. Feminists, the intersectionality. Feminists always point out that
always going to be
more money
sense of people
and they disparity there to somebody is stopping, but if taking account as women apply, teachers don't. But men always get themselves provide a whole entire. So when I go look for a job, I can't settle for a $30,000 job. I have to push myself to try to get the job I can get. And then when men get them jobs, men tend to work more hours than women. So I have, of course, women at the and they don't as much overtime as the men. You do have some women that work much, but men just work way more. Men just take that sacrifice. Like, look, I got to go to that dude, gymnastics, wife, I got to pay a bill. I'm going to sacrifice work. And miss football game, I might miss, but this is what I do try against me. But people don't look at that, the reality. They only looking at it like, oh, don't make out. So it's some type of oppression. That's that whole pretty thing. They get to everybody is equal. Everybody make the same thing and everything like that. And it's like that's
right.
People are just not like that. And what you was about to say?
Brother Davis.
I'm about to say it's breaking up real bad. Everything is real choppy on
Right, Brother Chavis, you're breaking up pretty bad. Let me jump in right quick because I know what you're talking about with that diversity, that diversity stuff. Because I've been to meetings, corporate meetings with that. Here's what you do: you're a painter, you're a ship painter, right? This is how you make this work for you. Is you say it's 80% Black people that paint ships in the trade. So what you do is you, like I said, is what brother Master you said, is you start a company and you become a contractor And what you do is okay, you get those 80% of them brothers, and y'all paint ships, but you also hire some gay people, hire some women, hire some Hispanic people, some bilingual, so that now your company is fully diversified, but except black people is running it, right? Go back to that shipyard and say, hey, listen, it's going to be better for you to use us as a contractor because now you don't have to pay for my insurance. You don't have to pay for this. You don't have to pay for that. All right. And this is what this contract is going to cost. And you know that we do the work well. And what you do is you get some sort of paint company, like I said, is to where you develop the paint to where now all of a sudden it's a trademark. It's something that you have this intellectual property to where, you know, nobody else has this type of paint, right? And then you don't just stop at boats. You could do automobiles. I know Ford just left. I know about the Newport News area. I went to AIT up there at Fort Eustis, so in Denby. So I know about Newport News. I know about, you know, plus I had customers out that way. My truck was made up that way. You know, I know the Ford plant just left, but you paint more than just ships. And what happens is because you're a diversity company, what ends up happening is, oh, we hire women, we got gays, we got this, we got that, we got so-and-so, we got a woman CEO, all right? We the president and the owners, but the CEO is a female. And now, all right, you got all of that stuff. And when one of these other corporations look at you, they say, oh, they've got all of these components in there, so we can cover all of that all in one, plus you get paid, because that's the way you do it, is through contracts. The company, one of my customers just spent $468 million in diversity spend last year. Okay. Yeah, see, so the money is out there. That's just one company. That's just one company getting, you know, a piece of that pie. So that's how you do that, is you say, okay, because as an employee, they control you, right? So they control, they say, okay, we're gonna have a Filipino as a supervisor, we're gonna have this as a supervisor, but you still the worker, right? you still a subject, right? But if you pull all them workers away and say, okay, we still gonna have these supervisors, we still gonna have these people, but they're gonna work for my company now. And you know, we want to bid on a contract, all right? And by doing that, because like I said, it's the way the tax credits work, the way the tax credits work is these companies want to have diverse employment, but they also want to use diverse contractors and diverse vendors as well. So, and what they actually have a contest going on in America for companies who have the most diverse, who use the most diverse spend, meaning they got diverse employees, they use diverse women-owned businesses, black-owned, handicapped, veteran, gay, all of that. You know, if they, you know, like I said, they're looking to try, and this is how they're offsetting some of this unbalance. So that's not a bad thing if you make it work for you. You just can't be an employee doing it. You got to own your own company. There's a company called Bridgewater Interiors. All right, they make the seats for Ford, GM, Honda. That's all they do is make the seats for these cars, and that's what they specialize in. They are a tier 1 auto supplier, meaning that they supply parts directly to the OEMs, to the actual companies, right? Black-owned business, all right? But it's black-owned, but the plant manager over here might be a white guy. The plant manager over here might be a female. That plant manager over there might be gay, all right? So they have diversity within their company, but black people are still controlling it. They got, you know, black people are still hired, still supervisors, still part of the process, but they've just said, okay, we're gonna take 20% of our employment force and we're gonna do this, all right? We're gonna have this person, that person, this, so that we can look completely diverse, right? And we'll do a joint venture and a joint partnership with another tier 1 company, and they'll get diversity credit. We'll get the business, we'll get the spend, we'll get the money, and then all of their customers, you know. So it, like I said, it's a chain reaction when you start doing it like that. All right, brother Ned. So like I said, it's so that's how you strategize and work that out because you can make it work. It's just like I said, you can't be on the employee end. You got to be on the entrepreneur end and getting those contracts and working the contract out. So
Yeah, it's a great thing going on right now, man. They just and it's crazy, but I look at it like the thing that racks my brain up is like everybody, these people they try to say they not racist, and they always try to say we racist and we're gonna do this by hiring different and everything like that. But it's like it's like the fundamental element of racism that each ethnic group is so much of the same each other different group that if you know the majority of
Hey,
like
hey, Chavis, your
yo.
band. Every time you talk, it say your bandwidth is low because it be going in and out whenever you be speaking, brother. So I don't know if it's some settings you can fix, but every time you talk, it start going in and out, and it say your bandwidth is low. That's what it's showing on my own screen.
right.
What is saying that right? Is it saying it now?
It's a Chavis Hayes network bandwidth, but it went away. It was it's low.
Yeah,
The
it's red.
network, yeah. So I really don't know, but
You might have to just go voice and mute your camera and just
yeah,
just
try
not.
that.
So yeah, is it staying or is it still chopping up?
Let me see.
It's
But
a little
right
bit
now,
better, yeah.
yeah, it's a whole lot better.
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, both of them running at the same time probably was messing it up.
That's
Yeah,
what it was.
it's something in your settings that you can change to fix that. But go ahead, brother. I don't want to cut y'all wisdom.
Yeah. So, but it's like the one thing that's fundamental about racism and sexism or anything like that is you view that group of people so homogenous that if you meet one of them, you basically can predict how the rest of them are. That's how white people really was pushing the whole racism thing. They was like, yo, black people is like this. They'll meet one black person and they'll say, oh, this black person, he's not even a human being or he's ignorant or something like that. And then they'll class that on every single black person. And they'll just view all black people like that. And what they doing with this whole diversity thing is saying that groups are so much different. They are so much different from other groups, but they are so much the same within the groups that you need, in order for you to get diverse ideas, you need to have a diversity of people. But see, I don't believe in that. I believe you get more diverse on the individual level. It's not about the group. Individuals is more diverse than they are of the people of the groups. But to me, it's like I don't see how you can say you're against racism, but you steady trying to push ideas that says, oh, if you want some type of ideas, you have to hire women. If you want certain ideas, you have to hire black people. If you want certain type of ideas, you have to hire Asians. And it's like, to me, it's just like, well, basically what you're trying to say is all black people think the same, or all women think the same, or all Asians think the same. That's what you're basically trying to say. So it's like, it's a contradiction to me. And I don't think but these groups is just hell, man. It's like, I didn't know it was as serious as it is, man, until I really started looking into it, because I always heard about it and I've seen a few people like it, but I never thought it was this deep that it's getting to the point where it's just going out into the whole into the whole society. It's like it's at people work job. Everybody at work is doing diversity training. All these jobs. Now these jobs is starting to mock people's social media. So if you say something on social media, you get fired for that. If it don't fall into the ethnics and the whatever the criteria of the company. So it's like man, it's getting more to the point where you have so much censorship on society that people will just be afraid to talk. Because it's like, if I say anything wrong, I lose my job. If I say anything wrong, I can get fired. Like now they made it to the point, I know in Canada, they passed a law where you have to use preferred pronouns. So if it's a man, but he prefer you to call him Zer with a Z, like Zer, you have to call him Zer. And if you don't, you can get slapped with a fine. And if you don't pay that fine, of course, you know, you can face some type of jail time. So, and I know New York, I think New York recognized like 36 different pronouns. Like, it's just this stuff is really spreading, and it's getting to the point where it's really started affecting a lot of this started on the college campus. A lot of it started on the college campus, especially with these postmodernist people came from Jacques Derrida and Foucault. These people, they really pushing hard. That's what the whole LGBT, that LGBT group and the Black Lives Matter group and the Black feminists. Y'all heard about the Black feminist group? The intersectionality?
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't want to cut y'all off, man. But listen, y'all two are on. Y'all talking about something that we need to talk tomorrow. We having a show where we're gonna talk about sexual abuse, physical abuse, and mental abuse in the Black community. Some of the stuff you're talking about will go right into that show, James.
Yeah.
So I don't know what y'all gonna be doing tomorrow around 12, 1-ish, because I'm gonna do it early. I'm not gonna do it late. I don't know if y'all will be available, but I would love for y'all to come on the show. We got some sisters up here, people from overseas, Africa, all over. We're gonna talk about some of these problems in the Black community. I have to get off, man. I didn't realize it was 1:09. I thought it was like 12:09, almost 1:10. Because I'm on the East Coast. I don't know what coast y'all on. But what I want to do is I want to give y'all the opportunity to close out, let people know where they can find y'all. And I'm gonna make sure, Chavis, I guess Neb sent you the link.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make sure that we link up. So tomorrow I can invite you. Yeah, I'm about to take her home, man. Come on. But yeah, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all opportunity to close out.
All right, so yeah, tell him to hit me up, and I'll try to get in if I can. I got some trees to cut down at my dog's house. I'm about to move a new tenant in. So, but man, my name Chavis Hayes, 29 years old. I'm moving more and more into the entrepreneur lifestyle. You can find me at Chavis Hayes on Facebook, and that's about it, man. I don't really consider myself political, but if I did, I'd be more of a libertarian. And that's about it, man.
All right,
So, well, yeah.
Like I said, it's Leonard Walker again. Find me on Facebook. Facebook group, Descendants of American Slaves, Political Action Committee, and we can check out American Descendants of Slaves movement. That's all the Facebook group.
All right, Art. Well, yeah, man, I'll holler at y'all, man.
Yeah, I want to thank y'all brothers for taking the time out y'all busy schedule to come on the show tonight. Tavis, you always invited, brother. Brother Leonard, you know you always invited. Thanks to Neb Up, Neb Unk, thanks to Master U, thanks to the viewers, thanks to everybody. We appreciate y'all, and you know we'll be back tomorrow. We have another show. Have a nice show to talk about. And maybe we can expand on this conversation that was started today, because it's a conversation that we need to talk about. And maybe I can get a brother up here that's a communist to come on the show. And I think, you know, to talk the difference in the ideologies, you know, and we can move forward from that. So with that being said, peace, family. I love y'all. I check y'all.